Hello everyone. You're welcome to the fourth in my series of videos about Docker containers. And today we'll be looking into how to deploy an image, a Dockerized application to Microsoft Azure from the Docker Hub. So we'll be looking at this task from two perspectives. The first one through the Azure portal perspective. We'll try to do this deployment directly on the portal. And then the second perspective will be using the Azure CLI from within PowerShell to do the deployment. So we're going to start with the Azure portal deployment, and let's have a look. I've created a script here of some little commands that we're going to run. So using the names that I've assigned to the resource group, the app service plan, the web app, and the container from Docker Hub, I'm going to go ahead and start creating those resources one after the other in the portal. So let's go straight to the portal. We want to create a resource group. So we start by putting everything that we're doing into a resource group. Create. And then I'll just paste it here, pick the right subscription. We're going for UK South, and that should be done. Yeah, so the resource group is created. So the next thing we want to do is to create an app service plan. An app service plan. So we're going to use this plan name here. And we're looking to create it on a SKU B1 and Linux operating system. So let's go for it. An app service plan. Let's say create a resource, app service plan, create subscription 2, then pick the right resource group and give it the name Linux. Then we're looking at UK South. UK South, and then we're going to change this to B1. Go on the dev test, B1 SKU B1. Yeah, so it all looks fine now. The right resource group, the right app service plan, Linux UK South B1, and let's create. So we let that spin up. Should be done within 30 seconds. So we have the resource group, which encapsulate everything that we're going to be creating today. Then we have the app service plan, which defines the resource that we're going to be citing our web application on. And the next thing we're going to be doing is, let's say refresh. Okay. VT Docker app plan. Is this the one? Where's the resource group for it? VT Docker resource group. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to create a web app. We want to create a web app now. That's the next thing we have to do. A web app. App services. Let's go. Yeah, on the web app. So subscription 2, we look for our VAT Docker resource group, and then we grab the name from here, which is the VAT Docker web service. So we stick it here. Then this is the game changer. We change this from code to Docker container, then Linux, and then we putting it in UK South. So it's automatically selected our VAT Docker app plan, which is sitting on a basic B1. Then the next thing we want to configure which Docker it's coming from. That will be Docker Hub public and logion /vat repo :v1. That's the image that we want to import. So next monitoring, okay, we don't need any application insights, and then review and create. So wait for that to finish up. While that chugs away, let's have a look at our next task. Our next task is to configure the website's port setting of the website to port 80. Go to resource, configuration, then we want to set up a new application setting to 80. So okay, and then we save. And then we restart the application. So we just restart it so we can be sure that our new settings have been captured. And then we try to start the web application. So what it will do is that for the first time, it would actually go over to docker.hub to bring down the image and then create a container out of it and then run it within Microsoft Azure. So that's going to take a little while, but we can keep an eye on the logs here. Let's go to container settings and then do a refresh. So you see, it's started pulling the container all the way from 1620. It's 1621 now. Pulling the image rather. So you see downloading. See downloading all the bits and pieces. Yeah, still chugging on. Let's do a refresh again. Yeah, it takes a while to mount it. It takes a while to mount the image into a container on Microsoft Azure. So we're still making progress. 162212. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're almost there. This is the final bit. We're almost there. Yes, we're there. So the last statement is here. Container VAT Docker Web Service _0 underscore F2FF 04A3. Let's see if 0483. Oh, okay, it's a different number. Okay, I thought it was going to be something close to that. So F2FF04A3 for site VAT Docker web service initialized successfully and is ready to serve requests. So this as the deployment has completed successfully, and this is the website. Now if you go on it a second time, it comes back very quick. See? So we have all the services exposed here, and how are we sure that these services have all been set up correctly? What we just have to do is go to our Postman, and let's check out our environments here. I think I'm looking for VAT API App Core Azure Docker. Is that the right one? Yeah, VAT Docker Web Service. That's the one. Azure Docker. Okay. So let's close this up. So we go into the runner. And what the runner will do is to run a bunch of tests. against all the calls and services contained in that application. So we look for the right environment, call Azure Docker. So it's going to run all the tests, and here we go. So we just need everything to be all green, and that proves to us that the website has been correctly deployed from the image and it's running perfectly. 43 passed, 0 failed. So job done, and that's a very good thing. So we've been able to deploy a website using an image stored on Docker, on the Docker Hub. We've been able to deploy it all the way into Microsoft Azure, and we did all this through the portal. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing, using the CLI scripts, and that's what we're going to do next now. So the way I'll go about it is I'll be running the scripts just one after the other. So what this does is to define these variables, against these various names. So the next thing we're going to do here is to delete. We're going to delete the group, the VAT Docker resource group that we created in the portal. And what this will do is it will delete everything that was created under the resource group. So it will delete all these two resources, the app service plan and the web service. That's what that command will do for us. So we can start from a clean slate. So it's going to delete the group, VAT Docker resource group. Yeah, it takes maybe up to about a minute. Yeah, still chugging away. So while that chugs away, let's have a look at the scripts that are going to be running. So once that is deleted, we're then actually going to create the group. Then after creating the group with this statement, we're going to use this to create the app service plan that will host the application. And then we use this command here, web app create, to create the web application, but we're going to set the source to be a deployment container image of the container here, which is, this should have been image really, logion /VAT repo :v1. And once that is created successfully, we're going to come along to set the website's port setting to port 80 so we can talk to port 80 of the application. And then we're going to show the app name. This is just something that I'll run here to show the app name. And then we'll be able to get the default name of the website through this command. And this one is going to set the logs, the container login file system. So if we want to go into login, we can just set this one and we're going to see the logs show up. So our group has been deleted, so we just need to recreate it now. So we have the name here, which is VAT Docker resource group in UK South. Yeah, and that is done. So it's come back with some JSON, just to let us know that it's been provisioned successfully. Then the next thing we want to do is to create the app service plan. This is the plan name here, VAT Docker app plan, the resource group, SKU B1, and it's going to be a Linux machine. Oh, okay. I did not copy and paste it properly. Okay, I missed out the A in the AZ. All right, so let's do that again. Okay, so that should work now. So it's going to provision an app service plan for what we're doing on a Linux machine with B1 specification. Yeah, so name size B1, basic tier. And then the next thing we're going to do is to create the web application. and instruct Microsoft Azure to pull the image for that web application from docker.hub or hub.docker rather. And there we go. So I'm sure you remember the sequence. The resource group first, the app service plan, and then the web app itself being created. And then we'll set the website port setting to port 80. So you see the state is running, the website is running according to it, usage state normal. So let's just adjust this setting, the website port to port 80. So it's done that for us. And then the next thing we want to do is to do the web app show, run the web app show command. Yeah, so it can show us some details about the website. Yeah, so host names, so all the various parameters of the website. It's chuck them out here, the resource group. Yeah. And then the next thing we want to do is to just extract the host name. Just for the fun of it, we actually know what the website is. So that's vat docker web service .azurewebsites.net. So that is the website name. So we can just pull it out. In fact, before we do that, what we can do is to then go into Microsoft Azure to see the effect of what we have done. So can you see it now? So we've got the app plan located on B1, UK South. And then we've got a web app, the web service itself. Yeah, sitting on the VAT Docker app plan B1. And let's have a look at the container settings. So it's nicely put it up for us on Docker Hub, public access, login /VAT repo :v1. And let's see if we can get some logs. I think it's going to wait for us to get the application started. So let's start the application. Let's make sure we close all the former instances. Okay. So it's going to try to spin up the website now. And let's keep an eye on the logs again. Container settings. See, the logs are playing out nicely. Very nicely, 1632, yeah. So the logs are still playing out very nicely. Yeah, so we'll wait for this to load up. So it's going to pull the image down and then make it up into a container, run it, and expose it through this web app on Microsoft Azure. So you see, either through the portal or either through scripts, we've been able to pull an image down from hub.docker.com into Microsoft Azure, and Microsoft Azure knows what to do with it. Make it up into a container and then run it, and the website is up. So you see, it's all working fine now. And let's look at the logs here. Let's refresh the logs. So if you go right to the end, the last statement is VAT Docker Web Service initialized successfully and is ready to serve requests. So the way we know that's working is, in fact, before we go to Postman, we can even test out one of the, let's go to get rates, try it out, execute, and this is going to call out to Cosmos DB on Microsoft Azure. You see, and this is the response here, the VAT rates for Austria, Belgium, yeah, France, Finland, all the various countries there. So the last thing rather that we're going to do is get onto Postman, and we're going to go to our runner. and run the entire suite of tests. So it's this one, VAT API app called Azure Docker. And we're going to go to VAT toolbox, current services. So all the tests are sitting here, and we just need to issue a run. So it's running the test against the website that we just deployed on Microsoft Azure. Very quick, 43 passed. So it's all running fine. We've been able to pull an image down from the Docker Hub, and we did that through the portal manually, and we also did that through CLI Script, and all the tests were running. The application was nicely hosted and nicely running. So we come to the end of this presentation. If you like this presentation, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you soon again for the final presentation in this series, which will be deploying from Azure Container Registry into an Azure Web App. So we're going to play with that on our next video. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.